What's up, everybody? Today has been a crazy day, and that's why you don't see my face right now, because I already filmed one of these videos and things went massively wrong. So, instead you just get a screen record because I gotta get this out. So today, and rather than what I was going to do, I'm going to be teaching you guys how I edit my photos in Lightroom. But what makes this special is that this is a photo I took on my phone. This is not a raw photo, this is not anything of the sort, it is just a phone picture, which I think looks really good, and I'm going to try to make it look even better. So I just put it into Lightroom and I'm going to import it, and now we see it's there. So we're going to go to develop and we're going to get a first look at this picture. So as you can see, this is a pretty cool picture. I actually took it, I was at speech and debate coaching, and I saw this little hill and I thought it looked really cool. If you zoom in right here, you'll see it's not the best quality. It's very grainy, especially when it comes to this bluish kind of background area. You definitely wouldn't necessarily want to print this photo, but it did look really good on my desktop as a background. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some touch-ups to this, because I already did touch-ups before and they looked awesome, so I'm going to do an even better job. So first off, what I like to do is I like to come down the line right here, because these are all different selections that you can make that will make your picture better, and you have to decide what you want with this. For my case, I want to make the snow less orange because the light above it was casting an orange tone on it. I want to make it white snow. I want to darken the background, and we'll just go from there. So to lighten the snow, to make it a little bit whiter, we're going to go to the temperature palette. We're going to lighten it up until it gets to where we want it. And now the snow is white. Problem is the background has gone from a normal blue to a blue. I don't know if I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this graduated filter. And what that's going to do is we're going to just do that right there. And as you can see, what it does is that it applies an effect to only one side of the filter. So as you can see, the snow changes color, the background does not. So I'm going to change the snow until it's just perfect white. There we go. I like that. I'm actually going to make it a little bit pink because I like playing with pinks. Let's see. Makes it pink. Ooh, that gives it a cool tone. I would do that in other circumstances, but right now I'm going to just do a little teensy bit of pink. And we'll just go with that. And then we can play around with this, see how we want to make it look. I think that's good right there. So then we click on this to get out of that menu. Now what I want to do something with is the background. So I'm going to do actually the exact opposite. I'm going to apply this to the background, but what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to make the background a darker color, because I want the white to stand out, but I want the background to just be kind of dark. So we're going to darken the background. I think that gives it a really nice feel. Is that like it's dim, but the light from the lamppost is shining on the snow really well. I think that looks really good. So I'm going to darken that. I'm going to let's see. I'm going to play with the contrast. So the next problem I have is that this is still grainy. I'm going to try to make it a lot less grainy by upping the contrast. We'll play around with shadows. That makes it better, but that makes it way darker. Ooh, that looks really cool. I'm gonna make the shadows much more. Put it right there. And then so far as I also always want, whenever there's any grain, you always want to play with this area: clarity, dehaze, and saturation. That's going to help you a lot to reduce pixelation effects that you get from taking a picture on your phone. So what I'm going to do, let's zoom in on this actually. So I'm going to zoom, come down here. So as we can see, now we can actually get a pretty good idea of what the pixelation looks like. So I'm going to click on this. Where is it? Where is the effect? Here we go. We've got these dots. Yep, that's the right one. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll play around with this dehaze. So as you can see, it's actually getting rid of some of the pixelation the more we use it. So we go this way, you can see a ton of it. We go this way, it starts to disappear. You can also up the contrast to reduce the pixelation. Yeah, there we go. That looks a lot better. Bring down the exposure. There we go. and clarity. When you have more clarity, there's more pixelation. Less clarity, it looks a little bit fuzzier, but that's kind of the effect I want, especially since it's in the background. It's okay for it to be blurry. So I'll put it right about there. Let's take a look at how that looks. Okay, perfect. I really like how this picture is turning out. I'm going to just adjust the filter a tiny bit because it's a little bit off in terms of how it lines up with the snow. You can see like right here, there's a clear place where the snow is bright right here, but not up here. So I don't want that. There we go. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. Perfect. I think this picture looks really good right now. The one thing I would add though is I see the snow up on top of the house, and I think that we could bring that snow out a little bit. So I'm going to come up here and we're gonna go, yeah, we're just gonna add like a little bit of exposure difference to it. And this is a painting, almost a painting tool. You just paint over whatever you want to change. So we're gonna come on over here, scroll, 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 here we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna paint over this like so. Nope, nope, let's try that again. There we go. And I'm holding down H in order to just get a bunch of straight lines. Then I'll color it in. I was really good at coloring when I was a kid. It's all paid off. There we go. Okay, so now the snow on top of the roof is a bit brighter. We're gonna play with the dehaze to get rid of the pixelation effect. Let's also play around with the temperature to get rid of the whiteness. Saturation. Turn down the saturation. There we go. Now it looks a lot more white. There we go. It's still really pixelated. I'm trying to figure out how can I fix that. Let's do, sharpness. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, if you play with the sharpness, you can also really get rid of blur by just sort of meshing it all together. So it's a great idea. Totally. All the time. I'm gonna extend this actually. I'm gonna unclick this, so that'll apply that, but then I'm gonna play around. No, not that. I'm going to do just the sharpness filter on the tops of these trees because the top of it is blurry. The top of it isn't blurry, but the rest of it is. Okay, there we go. Let's zoom out and see how that looks. Okay, I think that looks really good. I'm actually going to do one more thing. I'm going to come back to this, and I'm going to make it just a little bit less sharp. Kind of blur everything out. If I can. I think it's doing it. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that's much better. Let's zoom in. I want to check one more thing. I want to check the post and make sure that it's not seriously, yeah, that's not too inconsistent. Okay, let's take a look at our handiwork. That looks really good. I really like that. Next thing I'm going to do though, I noticed that there's a bunch of blue in the shadow, and that throws off the effect that it's legit white snow, because you can tell that the darkness has been colored a different color. So I'm actually going to come back to, I'm going to click the little bottom one because that's our snow effect. And I'm going to, you know what? I can't do that. I can't. You know, what I would do, actually, I could just desaturate it. There we go. There we go. That is exactly what I needed to do. Perfect. Okay. Final handiwork. Yes, this is a photo that I did take on my phone. I'm going to just do a little bit of tidying up while I'm doing this outro. I did take this photo on my phone, and you too can take phone pictures with your iPhone and touch them up in Lightroom to look as good as this, if you so desire. And thank you everyone so much for watching this video. As I said before, I was going to do a different video, but I ended up doing this on the fly, so it wasn't the best video, but I do appreciate any likes or subscriptions that come from it. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Stay classy.